Alright, it's good, everyone. This is my first ever YouTube video, I was thinking, this channel is, I'm just gonna be talking about whatever I feel like talking about, and this first video is going to be about North American cryptids. And, well, some of them are from North America, but for the most part, they are North American cryptids. Please drop a like, a comment, maybe, subscribe. Let's get into the video with the first cryptid on the tier list, the one that started it all, the Loch Ness Monster. So, the Loch Ness Monster, where do I want to put this on there? So, the Loch Ness Monster, it's the thing that started everything, there's legends of it dating back to the medieval ages with St. Columba of Iona. He supposedly repelled a monster in Loch Ness that was attacking, a young boy, and it never attacked anyone ever again. So, I don't know, this very picture for the thing right here, the very picture itself came out to be fake, but people claim to see it all the time. Or, well, not all the time anymore, but they used to see it all the time, So, me personally, I'm going to put it probably fake, probably fake. I just don't think it is that. Now, kudos to it for being the thing that started modern cryptozoology as we know it, but probably fake. Moving on to the jackalope. I love this thing. I love the jackalope. It started out as some guys in West being like, hey, there's a jackalope out there, and it's a rabbit with deer horns. And then they got a thing taxidermied, and they're like, if you go out there, you can do it. You can get one. And then the state got in on the joke, and they were like, you can have a hunting permit for a jackalope, but you can only do it 1 second before and 1 second after a lightning strike. I love this thing. But if you caught one thing, I put in hunters made it up. This thing was a cultural icon, though. So I love this thing, but I'm putting it in. You think what is real? I mean, bro, if you think that thing is real, you are slow in the head. All right. Moving on to the Fresno Nightwalkers. So I think in the early 2000s, maybe late 2000s, within the last 20 years, people claimed to catch videos of these things that look like disembodied pairs of pants. I don't understand it, but I don't know too much about it. But people think this thing is real. I've seen little figurines of it. Apparently one guy, so he looked out the window, and whenever it snowed, there was this patch of just green grass by his mailbox or whatever, and there wouldn't be any snow there. But he caught videos of it, and it was this pair of pants. It looks like some weird marionette. Some people think it's some time, space, law disregarding entity. If I'm being honest, it's probably fake. I mean, probably fake. All right. Aliens. They are a cultural icon at this point. UFOs, alien abductions, that type of thing, And here's my hot take on aliens. So, I'm Christian, So, aliens are demons. Demons. All right? Demons. You cannot regard me otherwise. Abducting them, I've heard absolute horror stories of people who claim to have been abducted as children, and then they have like nightmares about it for the rest of their life, saying they see like this eye of Sauron, red fire eye when they get abducted. I think if it's not that, bro, I don't know what it is. But space is pretty big, Let's just ruling out demons. Space is pretty big. So I am going to put aliens. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Sometimes aliens just get me wound, got me messed up. Probably real. Next up, we have Chessie. So, honestly, you know what? Not even Chessie. All Loch Ness Monster clones. So, I like the Loch Ness Monster, the idea of it, it goes back really far. But in the United States, after the Loch Ness Monster got found, the legend started, They started giving every single river, lake, pond, they gave it all a monster that is just a copy-paste of the Loch Ness Monster. And it is angering. It makes me want to be like, it makes me so angry. Like, don't copy and paste the Loch Ness Monster into every river, okay? And Chessie is the most credible one, and I'm putting it in, you think what is real? What? And then they come up with the whole story about it. I'm like, ain't no way that's real. Ain't no way. You got me messed up. Bro, what? Alright, I gotta move off of that topic before I get too angry on it. Sorry for the inconvenience. My mic got unplugged. This picture is from a news channel years ago where they got a guy to dress up in a suit in a lizard man suit. What is this? I'm sorry, my fellow South Carolinians, but this thing is not real. You think what is real? That thing is so fake. So fake. Oh my gosh. That man was drunk, high, and insane. Like, it was only seen a handful of times, and nobody has seen it in the last 20 odd years. What are we thinking? Alright. Dogman. So, I think this thing by now is pretty well documented. But essentially what it is so pretty much it is a werewolf creature, except it doesn't like shift recordedly, and people run into it in the woods and in small towns and near woods, like rural areas. Well, basically, again, I said I was Christian before. It's a demon. You can't tell me it's not a demon. Like, every single story that comes out of this thing, it's like, bullets don't hurt it. People have shot it so many times, but it doesn't die. It doesn't even get injured. Like, there's this story of like 5 guys who got holed up in a barn, and they all on like some hunting trip, they all had like guns, like 30-30s, 22s, shotguns, and they all just lit the thing up. Absolutely lit the thing up, but it didn't die, supposedly. But whenever somebody prays, it just cowers and flees. There's a story of a guy repelling it by reciting Psalm 23. I think this thing is real. Genuinely think that's real. I think it's a guy who did some kind of demonic ritual. Next is it's called the Haley Henderson incident. I think that's what it is. Could be wrong on that. So essentially, there's going to be a weird cut there because I had to do something. My bad. Essentially, what happened was this man in, I think it was the late 1800s, turn of the century, he's living in a log cabin in Kentucky, right? And he and his family claim that they were attacked by a swarm of 3-foot tall blue creatures, right? All night. I'm sorry, this story cracks me up. You got attacked by a ton of 3-foot tall blue aliens with pointy ears and glowing yellow eyes. For 3 nights. So what happened is the first night, he's fighting them off with his gun. Second night, same. After on the third day, they called the cops, right? They're like, hey, my house is being attacked by a crap ton of 3-foot tall aliens. And then what happens is they proceed to be like, yo, what are you talking about? What? Excuse me, did you say 3-foot tall blue aliens with pointy ears and glowing yellow eyes? And the guy's like, yep. And they're like, are you insane? And then apparently his entire family was like, yeah, this is real. This happened. It was terrifying. And it happens a third time. This is the time after they call the police, for those who need to know, for those who are confused. So yeah, they moved. And then when the house, they like moved away, and then the cops came out to the house and took a look at it, and apparently there were just like a ton of signs of the house being attacked. There were marks on the house. There was all the grass was like trampled down. Maybe I'm putting it in. I'm gonna put this in maybe. Maybe he might have been on meth. He might have been on a special trip there. I don't know. Next up, we have the skinwalkers. Okay, so for those who don't know, you probably know what a skinwalker is. They've been so ingrained into modern horror games and horror culture. But a skinwalker is supposedly a Navajo witch who does rituals and can make themselves appear like animals. There's a ton of stories of this one, but this one's kind of a classic now. But I think that it is probably real, probably real. It's probably some kind of demon, probably some kind of demonic ritual or whatever. But that's all I have to say on this one. I don't know a ton about skinwalkers, but I figured I should put it on there, give my take on it, Next up, we have the Wendigo. Now, contrary to what most people believe, the thing with like the deer skull and the deer antlers and the fur, that's a skinwalker, actually. Like, a Wendigo looks like a normal dude, except he's like 8 feet tall, and the skin looks basically stretched over his bones. He's so skinny. And basically, the way it works is the Indians said when a man eats another man, he can get possessed by a demon. And that demon will then proceed to make him have to eat more people, you know? Except every time he eats a dude, what happens is he grows progressively bigger and he needs to eat more of them. Now, actually, there is a disease where if you eat another person, it can give you like a mental disorder where you feel inclined to eat other people, you know? So it's an actual thing. Do I think it was a demon that went into you when you ate another person? No, I do not. Do I think that they were trying to describe what happened when cannibalism occurred? Yes, I do think that that is the case. So I think it's real in a sense, if that makes sense. See what I did there with that pun. All right. Moving on to another one of the OGs here, the Yeti. So, what's that guy's name? I think it's Jimmy Stewart. He's the guy from It's a Wonderful Life, you know? He was actually sent to the Himalayas to try and take a bunch of Yeti fingers from some Tibetan monks and smuggle it through. So Jimmy Stewart did in fact do that, and they came out to be human fingers and not Yeti fingers. I don't know why they're keeping human fingers on display in a Tibetan monastery, but that's what happened. That is the facts behind that, apparently. But Yeti is original Bigfoot. It came out before Bigfoot. You're going to hear my take on Bigfoot in a few minutes, but I am going to put the Yeti in maybe above the aliens. No, probably real. Above the skinwalkers, not above the aliens, though. It's really hard to survive in those mountains. It's really cold. I don't know, though. I'm going to put it in probably real. It's probably real. Next. The Megalodon. You can't tell. Here's the thing. Here is the thing. You cannot look at the amount of ocean that we have and say, oh, there is no way in those waters there is not a megalodon. You can't just openly say, no, that does not exist. And the same goes for another creature that we're going to talk about later. But you can't just say, yeah, no, this thing is not real. You can say it's probably not real, but you can't just openly be like, no, this thing does not, it does not exist in any way, shape, or form. You have to admit, okay, this thing is real. My bad there. It is, you can't just say it's not real. People claim to have seen it off the coast of Australia because, of course, it was Australia. Like, they already have dinner-sized spiders. Dinner plate-sized spiders. I don't know why I just said dinner spiders. They already have dinner plate-sized spiders and giant snakes. Everything there can kill you. Walking to work is like playing Doom 2016. There's so much danger in the way. We've all seen that meme. But in all honesty, I'm putting it in maybe above the blue aliens. Yeah, I'm putting it in maybe above the blue aliens. You know what? No. I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the Megalodon in probably real. Probably real. The Jersey Devil. So, my mom's side of the family is from New Jersey. So I have some level of association with the Jersey Devil. I've heard stories of it, you know. The 13th son got cursed by the Revolutionary War era parents, and he got turned into this demon thing with like horse hooves, ram horns, wings, a tail, basically what you see right here. What do I think about the Jersey Devil? I think that it is probably fake, you know? Like, I don't hear a lot of sightings of it. I've heard people assume it's Bigfoot, and I'm like, maybe, no, I don't know. You'll hear my takes on Bigfoot in a few minutes. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. No. Probably fake. We might move it up a little bit later. We might move it down, though. Probably fake, you know. I think it's funny that the mom cursed her son because she was so tired of having kids. I think that's funny. That might get me demonetized. I don't know. You know, I've said worse things on here. I talked about the Wendigo. That might get me demonetized too. We'll see. I'll take a risk there. Thunderbird. So the Thunderbird, first thing about the Thunderbird that I need to put out there, the Thunderbird has aura. It has straight up aura. Like, it's a massive eagle that whenever it flaps, it makes thunderclaps. It makes giant thunderstorms wherever it soars, you know? And they worshipped it as some kind of god. Apparently it's dropped like whales on the Pacific Northwest. Do I think this is real? I think it was real, okay? I think what they were seeing a giant eagle. I think that is what they were seeing, and I think they then proceeded to worship it because it was a giant frickin' eagle. You know, I think because like there were colossal eagles that lived in South America. Is it that hard to believe that one of them could have gone north? I'm going to put this in probably real, you know, below the Megalodon, though. It's not. Megalodon has a much higher chance of it being real because, like, it's going to take a while for that thing to fly up there. I don't know why it would fly up there even. All right, moving on. The Dover Demon. So basically, this guy was walking around in, like, Dover Park, I think, and he said he saw this very strange alien-looking creature by a stone wall in Dover. I think Dover, New York. I think it's New York. It was only ever seen 3 times, you know, and then it disappeared. You think, what is real? No, it got spotted 3 times. That does not constitute a real creature. If it was real, we would have seen it. Even if it was some kind of demon. Like, look at the other things that I've said are demons up in probably real. We have aliens. We have skinwalkers. We have Dogman. You could technically say Wendigo, but I think it was just a disease thing. They were trying to describe disease the best way they could. But you think this thing is real? All of these things have been seen many times over a very long portion of time. The Dover Demon got spotted 3 times in the late 1900s. What are you talking about? Okay? And it doesn't even have like that big of a following. Like almost no one. I didn't know about this thing until recently. Like, what? You think what is real? Bro. Oh boy, this is gonna be this one. You think next up is the chupacabra. This one's gonna make me crash out. Alright. The chupacabra is fake. I am sorry. If you think that the chupacabra is real, you are slow in the head. I am sorry, bro. They found, one guy shot it, put it in a museum, and they realized, oh wait, this thing was a coyote with mange. A coyote with mange! Like, what? If you still think this thing is real, you need help. Get some help. Talk to your parents, you know? Get a hug. This thing is not real. It got proven to be false. It was a coyote with mange, for crying out loud. A coyote with mange. And then there were guys getting caught in the woods, and they were like, yeah, I was pretending to be the chupacabra, and I was draining the blood out of these people's goats. What? What? What is this? What country? Like, what has our society come to? All right, finally one. I'm still going to crash out about this one, but it's going to be different. You'll see. Bigfoot. Bigfoot's real. You can't tell me otherwise. It's a smarter monkey, right? Almost every continent has monkeys or apes or whatever. Is it really that hard to believe that there's a giant ape living in the woods? No. All the claims don't stack up. There's not enough food in the North American wilderness. There's deer, plants, fish, crawdads, berries, mushrooms. There's a lot of stuff in the wilderness. You can't tell me that there's not enough food or water. There is large portions of land that are just very open for Bigfoot to live in, okay? Holy cow, people are stupid. The amount of sightings is insane. Hundreds of people see it every year. Important people have seen it. Theodore Roosevelt saw it. Daniel Boone killed one. Like, and there's so many photos. I mean, I know they're all blurry as crap, but yeah, it's probably real. I'm sorry, it is real. I have spent a large portion of my life researching this. It is real. You cannot tell me otherwise. Mothman. So basically, in West Virginia, people saw this Mothman creature thing, and essentially what happened was it was flying up above this bridge, and then a couple days later the bridge collapsed and 3 people died, and it was just like fluttering above it, you know, like a moth. And then one other time it showed up and 3 people died, so people think it's like an omen that shows up. I think that happened in like the late 80s. Maybe. It might be a demon or an angel of some kind. I'm putting it below the little blue alien stuff. There's no bias there. I promise there's no bias there. The Oklahoma octopus. So the Oklahoma octopus was basically... Oklahoma is a landlocked state, right? There's no salt water there. There's a couple really large freshwater lakes. And people said they saw a giant octopus in these lakes. In freshwater lakes. Apparently octopuses need salt water to live. And people said they saw giant freshwater octopuses. Octopi. Octopuses, octopi, I don't know. What? That's probably real. It's not that big of an assumption, even. It's like, maybe. I'm putting in a maybe. Above the Mothman. And above the little blue aliens. Like, that's probably real. Yeah, it's probably real. If we're being honest, it was probably real. It was probably like some strange species of freshwater, no. Nope, maybe bottom of, almost probably real. Almost probably real. It might have been a thing, All right, we're getting to the end of this marathon home run, The Kraken. So, we all know what the Kraken is. If you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean, you know what the Kraken is. If you've played Sea of Thieves, you know what the Kraken is. Everyone knows what the Kraken is. I'm going to say the same thing that I said with the Megalodon on this one. You can't just say it's not real because we have so much land in the ocean. Like, we have these colossal squids that are 40 feet long. Add 20 feet to it, or whatever it is. Add some more land, add some more mass to it. Add 20 feet to it, make it a little bit bigger. And, yeah, is it really that hard to believe? I'm putting it in maybe, though. Maybe. That's a really big thing to live. And the colossal squids live pretty far down. That's the only, real... The biggest flaws of the Kraken being real are, it's a really big thing. It would be hard for it to find something to eat. And, why would it come to the surface ever? Mer people, fish people, We all know what a mermaid is. We all know what a merman is. We've had legends, rumors, and whatnot of mer people since, Greek times, I think some people had legends of that before then. It's probably fake. It's probably fake. I'm putting it's an upper probably fake, though. I think this is more real than a disembodied marionette pair of pants. But yeah, probably fake, it's an old story, though. A lot of people have mermaid stories. Probably fake, though. Probably fake, if I'm being honest. And if they are, I've seen videos, though, of, these really creepy videos of, people in subs really deep down, and they see, these creepy, fish people things, clawing at the glass. Maybe. Low maybe. Now, this is a tough one. Maybe. All right, that's all I got today. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, comment, do whatever you want. If you want to, do what you want. I'm not your boss. I'm not your mom, your dad, whatever. Have a lovely day. Comment below what you want me to do next. Yep. Thank you for watching if you made it to the end. If you skipped ahead to the end, frick you.